But let's move on to George. George, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
So my understanding of your business again is you're technological provider to the industry. You do a lot of work with the OTAs, with destinations, with DMCs. I know personally from my own experience that the DMCs have been pretty much very badly hit over the last year or so. In terms of your experience, how do you see that sector, the online sector, the OTA sector? How do you see that being affected? Is that a sector which is going to come back? I mean, there's an argument that this is a sector which is going to struggle in the future because people will tend to move towards a travel agent rather than an OTA, for example. Do you have a perspective on that, George? Maybe you could share that with us.
Well, yeah, what can I say? OTAs are not in the good position either, like everyone else now, because everyone in technology relying to their business is related to the bookings. So as no bookings are coming, or very few of them, then well, everything is not on the same level as before. So as a technology provider, I saw, although, that things are moving in the right direction a bit. For instance, the bookings in this year are definitely better than last year, and I'm talking about online mainly. Well, this is because we had some lockdown that were off in the UK, for instance, and the UK is a good market now for the online, better than before. But well, the online business faced some challenges that are quite specific, and you can imagine that they have to deal with a lot of cancellations. They have to deal with a lot of refunds, and it's another situation that maybe was not initially thought of. The hotel itself that are doing live updates via channel managers or via extranets, they did a lot of data updates, but mainly on the close sale, maybe on less availability, maybe on more restrictions, and that puts the travel technology companies in positions to handle more data, so they spend more to analyze more, to deal with more data, but with less bookings. So it's, let's say, a bit worse than thought, because you have no bookings at all, but you increase your infrastructures and expense because they are changing a lot of their availability and restrictions. And each time a change in the government policy is happening and the hotels got a bit of optimism around, they start opening again. After a while, they have to close it again. So all this open and close, if you talk about distribution, puts a lot of load on all the server infrastructures and all the technology side, and that is quite strange because it's affecting the travel tech altogether. Well, on top of that, at least the online had enough data to provide us reports, and these reports was quite good in these times to understand a bit what is going on. We still keep the optimism up. I think everyone is talking about what we call the revenge travel, as was already discussed here. People are eager to travel, and once that happens, things will be better, definitely better. But as a travel tech, you have to, in a way, change a bit of relationship with your partners and try to be more flexible in providing their services. And what you said is quite true. This is what I noticed. I think we will talk about again of the rise of the travel agent for the next period. Was a discussion about the death of a travel agent when the big OTAs came in place, but now it will be a bit in reverse, because people, in order to travel, they will need a lot more information than before. So either OTAs will manage to put that information on screen, so invest in more technology and more mechanisms to make a destination page fulfilled with info, or they will lose because the travel agents will have that info and they will be able to serve the customers via the consultants with all what they need before actually the travel. So I feel that it will be a bit of change of balance here. I think the travel agency and the B2B world will start rising up again, and the OTAs maybe will go down, or at least will stay on the same level as before.
Interesting. And as a sort of technology company, which you guys are, are you thinking without giving any sort of company secrets away, obviously, are you thinking about, in terms of all of the new type of protocols which will be required for travel, is that something you're looking at from a technological point of view? Because obviously there are lots of different considerations where people are considering destinations to travel to, how they travel, etc., etc. Is this something, perhaps an area that you're looking at to look at where we go with the future with this?
Well, definitely we are looking in that, because without that it will be absolutely impossible to actually finish a booking journey. It's just the important is how we can get the information and what is the better source for that, because it has to come from the ground. Okay, it has to come from the destination itself, or maybe from the hotel itself. And we have to make sure that once we pick it up, we are distributing to all the levels needed to reach the end traveler. Our technology, what we do is not only for OTAs. We have a lot of technology for the travel agencies or for wholesalers or bed banks. So that put us as the company in a good position in a way, because we can serve both type of selling channels to the users, and we can provide different mechanisms that each of them may need in a different ways. But again, if bookings are not starting to come, the challenge will be there for everyone, because the travel tech companies have the hit as well, because the clients have the hit. So it's like a chain reaction. And now everyone is waiting to see what is going on, how this politic around the governments of Europe and the world will align, and when people can start actually doing bookings. If it's domestic or regional, it's good enough for us. Doesn't have to be international. I mean, a booking has to be there, and even if you have to cross the street to book a hotel near your home, for us it's fine just to be there.
No, it's weird. We're in this weird sort of limbo at the moment where I think 6 months ago everything was very bleak and very dark, and people were just, okay, let's look forward to the future, whatever that might be, and people were quite happy with that. Now we're in the situation where, okay, we're nearly there, but actually we're not quite there, and it's like one step forward and 2 steps backwards, and everyone's sort of just waiting and to see what sort of happens. And George, I'm going to throw a complete curveball at you, because you're our sort of token techie this morning, and I think you have that sort of that thinking. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about virtual travel. Is that something which is ever going to take off, or is that a complete forget it? That's a waste of time. Or is that an inspirational part of the process?
Personally, I don't believe in the virtual traveling part. Personally, maybe other people can argue that. It's like a gimmick, okay? It's like a game, yeah? I mean, could be fun for a while, but it will just increase the anxiety in the end, because you will feel that it's fake, okay? You'll feel better for a while. You will just navigate through the streets of, I don't know, Dubai from your screen, yeah? It's like Google Earth on a streaming philosophy. And again, it's fun, it's nice, but you cannot replace it, okay? Even the VR stuff, because now it's a lot of virtual reality. Put your glasses on, and you are definitely in an emerging situation and an emerging feeling, but still is not the same, because you start moving around and you got dizzy and you got sick and you want to get out of it after 15 minutes. So yeah, it's something that would work maybe for a short while, but on a long term is completely not a solution. Again, personally thoughts. Okay.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that's exactly right. And to use Hugh's analogy, it's like it's not quite the same thing, is it?
Yeah.
And you're missing the 5 minutes before a meeting and the 5 minutes afterwards. What you're not getting is you're not getting that sort of little alleyway around the corner where you find a little bar and just have a little coffee.
you miss the smell of the streets, the smell of the cars, you know, the smell of the people. I mean, it's the atmosphere itself. Although I can say that I saw some very nice, let's say, websites with this virtual traveling, and they even put a radio on the background for the city you are in. Okay, so basically, when you walk through Dubai, or you are in a car, virtual car in Dubai, you hear the radio, local radio in Arabic, you know, and it's okay. It's a nice fake. And could be nice for a couple of days or maybe a couple of months until the real thing is coming back. So again, we need the real thing to come back.